Well, India's economic boom seems to be slowing. The rate of growth is at its lowest in 4 years. It is still an impressive 7.6%, as revealed in figures today. On the first day of trading since the attacks on Mumbai, it was closed for a single day. The main Sensex stock index rose 0.7%. Some analysts, though, are questioning whether India can keep powering ahead while the rest of the world slows, especially if now the attacks in Mumbai deter foreign investors that have been a key part of its success, of course. Well, joining me in the studio is Bundeep Singh Rangar. He's chairman of IndusView. It's a company that advises many of the world's biggest firms about working in India. Thank you, Bundeep, for joining us. You've just come back literally in the last 24 hours. You came back 6 o'clock this morning. You were taking clients around. I mean, they must have been appalled by what they saw.
Yeah, I think it was so unexpected because we were in Mumbai just early this summer in June with the same client, and I've been there every single month for the past 3 months for about a week. And this was the last thing anybody expected. We expected other things to go wrong with the economy, but not an attack that targets foreigners and the economy.
So are they ever going to go back? I
believe they will. I think they've, we kind of bailed out of there within 6 hours. We got the first flight out via Dubai and we left. And I had 6 people with me, all the British nationals from a FTSE 250 company. But I don't think this is a abandoned ship forever kind of move. I think it's just get out of here, be safe, and let's rethink how we get back.
But it does change everything, doesn't it?
It does, because nobody expected an attack of this scale and of this complete impunity with which they attacked, randomly shooting people, premeditated, pre-selected. But Mumbai is a very resilient city, and India's economy, as you said, is still the second fastest growing in the world. So can you afford to ignore it? I don't think so.
But it takes it into a different league. If you're going to do business in India, it's not like doing business in India 6 months ago. It's like doing business somewhere in the Middle East, perhaps.
Yeah, I think that's very true.
It's suddenly changed.
It's suddenly changed. I mean, every hotel, if you stay at five-star hotels, because it's safer, the food's better, the water's safer, but every hotel has metal detectors, X-ray machines, sniffing dogs as de rigueur for the past few years there, ever since the attacks that happened 13 years ago. It's now, I think, doubled and tripled up, and now I think companies will look at much more private security alternatives rather than just relying on the government to provide security.
Well, do you think the government is not going to be able to provide the kind of security that those companies are going to demand?
I guess the best way to assess that is the history so far. It's had attacks in India now, in Delhi, in Jaipur, Mumbai, just 2 years ago when almost 190 people were killed, and it's failed to protect them again this time. So I think they'll have to have a major revamp, or private companies will just stay away.
But are private companies going to be prepared to set up the kind of security systems that they need themselves?
I think companies that offer premises, landlords, landowners, or property companies will now suddenly have to look at that, not dissimilar to what happens in Israel.
So it's going to be a do-it-yourself system, really, isn't it?
You can't rely on the government to protect when it comes down to your own security.
You just don't think they're going to do it?
I just think they can't.
But surely business is going to put quite a lot of pressure on them, isn't it, to do it? Because, I mean, this is the heartland of the economy of India.
You're absolutely right. When you travel in the airports 2 days, you're checked between the time you get your ticket and the time you board a plane an average of 4 to 6 times. So you can take certain points of access and control them, but how do you control when invaders come from the sea, if you may? It's just very, very difficult.
Okay. Bundeep Singh Rangar, thank you very much indeed. I'm sure you'll be needing your sleep. Thanks very much for joining us.